Greetings and welcome to another Gear Compendium video, this time featuring all the ways to equip your character in patch 6.4 regarding item level or style level. On level 625 you can get the new distance gear found in the Aetherfront dungeon that is unlocked upon processing through the main scenario quest. This gear is a recolored version of the Deep Shadow gear from the previous expansion, but can offer a solid upgrade to your gear if you have taken a break a long time before this patch and need to catch up. That mentioned, definitely check out my previous Gear Compendium for all the things up to item level 630 if you're basically starting from scratch in Endwalker. Next up, like in every big patch, there's a new raid tier, this time featuring the beautifully designed 8-people raids of Anabaseios, the last part of the Pandemonium raid. Limited to 1 token per week per boss, you can receive item level 640 gear by exchanging tokens at this fair lady in Ratsatan. So make yourself familiar with the exchange values or just check out consolegameswiki.com to see which boss drops which token. Especially for some jobs, those look gorgeous in their non-dyeable normal versions already. But if you want them painted in a different color, there's no way around the Savage version next week. Whatever you do, make sure to beat the final part every week for 1 unsung blade of Anabaseios that you automatically get for defeating the last boss. 7 of these will grant access to the new Tomestone weapons that look absolutely gorgeous this time, but more to that later. However, being a central part for every hardcore raider Savage raid preparation, the new crafted battle gear in the form of the Diadochos equipment melts away every gear before 6.4, and even though the prices have already dropped significantly compared to the patch day, these are quite expensive still. So better be sure to craft them all by yourself or ask friends or a free company member to do that for you. The best thing about these, like always, they can be pentamelded, so while technically they are item level 640 gear, they have higher values when fully pentamelded. Check out my material guide if you want to know more about that topic. Before coming to Tomestone gear, there's a certain extreme trial that grants you access to the Voidcast weapons on item level 645. Considered as a mild upgrade over the crafted ones, they can be farmed by directly receiving the weapon coffer or with totems that you get per kill. Now to the Tomestone gear, which you can receive by exchanging the weekly limited Alagan Tomestones of Comedy. This time around, however, they look phenomenal too, especially the weapons, which are mostly designed by fans and 3D artists around the world who participated in the design contest. Like mentioned before, the weapons also require 7 unsung blades of Anabaseios to be exchanged against 1 hermetic tomestone that you can combine with the Tomestones of Comedy to get your awesome item level 650 weapon. The gear is also respectable and can be upgraded to 660 later on when the Savage raid comes out, or for casual tokens when the 3rd Alliance raid part gets released. So make sure to get those pieces with critical hit and direct hit or determination on them, while holding back some tomestones for the weeks you're close to the 7 unsung blades. Last but not released, on next Tuesday we will have the new Savage Anabaseios raid gear, which is split into a higher item level version that can only be received by coffers dropped in the new Savage Anabaseios raid. Furthermore, you will receive tomes per killed boss per week that you can then exchange at Jolly in Ratsatan's Trading Avenue, where Square Enix adjusted the transaction rate slightly so you can get more gear from these tomes in general. Just remember that you're still weekly limited to boss drops, so when you cleared the fight and had no luck in looting a coffer, your chance is locked until the next week later. On top of that, Savage bosses will drop upgrade materials to the Comedy Tomestone gear, so make sure to plan or save your Tomestone expenditures to have the big item level 660 gear as soon as possible, especially pieces like chest or trousers. And while that's it for battle gear, there's a decent amount of glamour options in this patch, but one in particular that blew my mind and I want to emphasize on, namely the Augmented Hellhound weapons that, according to the official live letter translation, can be received by exchanging a new reward token that will be added to Crystalline Conflict for those who place within the top 100 rankings, or diamond tier and above. The higher your ranking, the more tokens you'll receive. After accumulating a certain quantity of the new token, they can be exchanged to apply a visual effect to Hellhound weapons. And as the tokens will persist across PvP seasons, you'll be able to collect them over time, as well as work towards obtaining enough for multiple weapons. Not only do some of these beat a couple of amazing Manderville relic weapons in my opinion, but this opens up a big opportunity for the PvP format in Final Fantasy XIV to be actually played. So I'm really excited to fight for these weapons with all my passion and heart for player versus player content. Next up, there is the usual Island Sanctuary sets, which you can receive upon reaching higher levels and ranks inside of that content. Definitely make sure to leave Meoni and Cole a visit, as they are passionate island enjoyers. And that's it for the prime gear of this patch. Like always, I will keep you updated about the stuff added later, especially with patch 6.45. Until then, have a lovely time enjoying the patch and keep loving Final Fantasy.